People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther Wachuku, and these are the top stories. Gunmen kill 29 in Plateau villages. Leadership crisis deepens as North Central governors reject Tinubu's candidates. 16 killed in Taraba chieftaincy tussle. Hundreds of residents displaced in Kaduna State as several houses property burnt in communal clash. And we also have this where EFCC operatives dies after scuffle with colleagues over suspects' items. And on stories outside the shores of Nigeria, Kiev hit by exceptional number of missiles. Details now. The World News at 12 begins on this unfortunate note where gunmen attacked two villages in Plateau State and killed no fewer than 20 persons. The killings, VOP News gathered, occurred on Monday night around 9 p.m. The affected villages were Kubwat and Fungzai in Mango local government area of the state. A resident of Fungzai community who witnessed the attacks, John Yakubu, confirmed the attacks in Jos today. Yakubu said that in Fungzai community alone, the gunmen killed 15 persons, including the wife of his younger brother and her children, while a total of 29 corpses had been recovered. The spokesman for the Plateau State Police Command, Alabo Alfred, did not pick up calls when contacted on the incident, but security forces and security operatives said that they had been deployed to the affected villages. Governor Simon Lalong, in a statement today, expressed worry over the attacks. Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong woke up on Tuesday, May 16, 2023, to the distressing news of an overnight attack on Kobat village in Mangu local government area, where some persons, including women and children, were reportedly killed. Meanwhile, governors in the North Central geopolitical zone have appealed to the All Progressives Congress to review its zoning arrangement for the leadership positions in the 10th National Assembly. The APC and President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu had listed Senators Godswill Akpabio from the South, representing Akwa Ibom, and Barao Jibrin from the Northwest, Kano, as preferred candidates for Senate President and Deputy, respectively. In the House of Representatives, the party endorsed Tajuddin Abbas from the Northwest, Kaduna, as a Speaker and Benjamin Kalu from the Southeast, Abia, as Deputy. The chief executives of the states in the North Central resolved to meet with the President-elect and the APC National Chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, for possible reconsideration of the zoning template. They took the decision after hours of deliberations on the issue at a meeting of their caucus in Abuja on Monday night. The governor said they backed the position of the North Central Senators-elect, who had earlier demanded that the zone be allowed to produce Deputy Senate President. The resolution, however, was signed by the attendees, including Abubakar Sani Bello, Governor of Niger State and Chairman North Central Governors. Now, in order for us to talk extensively on this particular situation within the All Progressives Congress, I have via the telephone a legal practitioner, Joe Nwokedi, who is also a political enthusiast as well as a social commentator. In the meantime, though, before we are able to connect with him, these are more stories that we need to take a look at. In Taraba State, the police command has confirmed that 16 people were killed in a chieftaincy tussle between Karim Joe and Wokom ethnic groups in Karim Lamido local government area of the state. The said police commissioner was in Karim Lamido town to assess the situation. Violence erupted in Karim Lamido town headquarters of Karim Lamido local government area when the new chief of Wurukum chiefdom, who was presented with a staff of office by Governor Darius Ishaku 5 days ago, entered the town with his entourage. Karim Joe ethnic group, who claimed ownership of Karim Lamido town, protested against the installation of the new chief, who is a working man. The protest turned bloody, leading to killings of several people and burning of hundreds of houses, farm produce, and other property worth millions of naira. Similarly, thousands of people, including women and children, fled the area and are now taking refuge in Lao, Jalingo, Jen, and Bamburu towns. All right, I have connected with Barrister Joe Nwokedi, who I already introduced to you as a legal practitioner. He's also a political commentator, a social affairs commentator as well. Barrister Joe, good afternoon and welcome to the World News at 12. Can you hear me, Barrister Joe? Okay, hold on. Let me connect you properly. All right, hello. Can you hear me now? Okay, it's still having issues. Just hold on. Let me connect you properly. All right, can you hear me now? Barrister Joe, can you hear me now? Hello, Barrister Joe, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I think you kept on holding and muting. All right, welcome to the World News. Okay, you have put your call on hold again. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
All right, please. You're putting your call on hold, so it keeps going on hold.
I don't know what's stopping. It's not me.
All right, okay, it's okay now. So here is the situation within the All Progressives Congress. Apparently, the APC crisis deepens. It's an unfortunate situation we're experiencing here. The All Progressives Congress, due to the zoning formula being adopted and the Labour Party to going through its own tussle within the party. Now, let's talk about the APC. That's the party we want to concentrate on today. Governors in the North Central geopolitical zone have appealed to the All Progressives Congress to review its zoning arrangement for the leadership positions in the 10th National Assembly. You do know that President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu listed Senators Godswill Akpabio from the South and Barao Jibrin from the Northwest as preferred candidates for Senate President and Deputy respectively, while in the House of Representatives, the party, that is the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress, in tandem with the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the House of Representatives, endorsed Tajuddin Abbas from the Northwest Kaduna as a speaker and Benjamin Kalu from the Southeast Abia as deputy. Now, unfortunately, though, the chief executive of the states in the North Central resolved to meet with President-elect and the APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu for possible reconsideration of the zoning template. Is the zoning pattern wrong, or could it be because it feels like an imposition of some individuals? Remember that Kashim Shettima has said that they do not want to sell, or would I say buttress, the narrative that is already out there about, the Islamization agenda, and so they need to balance it already. We already have the president-elect who is a Muslim, even if he is not from the north, and then we have a deputy vice president, the deputy, that is Kashim Shettima, who is a Muslim and who is from the north. So is the issue within the All Progressives Congress right now concerning the speakership position and the Senate presidency position about the individuals from their respective zones, or about the fact that they're trying to create a sense of balance?
The unfortunate thing in Nigeria is that we always leave issues of leadership of the National Assembly to the party that won the presidential election, But that should be like general affairs of the nation, and not just something that will be like restricted to the party.
All right.
And the party in power, the ruling party. But the ruling party, to be fair to them in their decision, although many opinion leaders were of the view that the Senate presidency wouldn't have been zoned to the Southeast, considering the fact that there was a general feelings that Southeast ought to produce the president of the country at this dispensation, going by the consensual
regionalization
agreement, fraternal agreement, brotherly agreements that, although not in the constitution, that have been like a means of keeping the country united and fair. That the Senate presidency would have been zoned to the Southeast, but where it was not possible, or APC decided in their own wisdom, or whatever is their consideration, to zone it to the South, which might still be viewed as being part of old Eastern region, to Godswill Akpabio. For me, Godswill Akpabio is eminently qualified. I'm not his spokesperson. I'm not his fan. I'm not in their party. But to be fair and to be unbiased in my analysis and narrative, I believe he's eminently qualified. He's a lawyer by training. He was chairman of a local government. I think he was a chairman or was head a commissioner for local government activity under former governor of the state. He became a governor. He's ruled for 8 years, and he did well by normal Nigerian assessment of leaders doing well in our own assessment as Nigeria. He did well, and he was in Senate also, and he was one of the pillars of APC. In fact, he was the person that took APC to the South. Even in 2015, he paid the price. Personally, he paid the price. He was there. He turned to be held in Akwa Ibom State. And he was able to give it a coloration because APC was seen as Islamic party and Northern party. But the likes of Ababio changed that narrative and made it to look like a national party. And since then, he has been consistent in the party. He has been very, very consistent and very, very active. And to balance the question, he's also a Christian. The people dragging that, like Shetima said, although I'm not a fan of Shetima too, but when somebody makes a point that is like valid and sensible, you have no choice than to align with that opinion, even if it's not coming from your friend. When Shetima says that the insinuation that Nigeria is taking towards Islamization, when you have president as a Muslim, vice president as a Muslim, senate president as a Muslim, speaker as a Muslim, I mean, what they take Christians for? What they take Christians? How would they react? We have to be bold. We have to be honest in Nigeria. What if it's done to the more Islamic people, as in the whole of this lineup are Christians from A to Z? How would they react? How would the Muslims in Nigeria react? By now, they'll start burning some churches. But
Barrister, let me.
But then it's okay. I'm not going to that. Let's just have that feeling because
I need to take you back to 2020. It's important because when people begin to raise up criticisms or objections to something, there could be a bone somewhere that they are picking that others are not seeing where they're picking from. So in 2020, we do know that Govs was, a member of the Niger Delta Development Commission. He was one of the leading agencies of that particular commission, whereby they were being questioned and grilled for financial recklessness at the commission. And one would say, okay, since he was actually part of the commission, he was the managing acting director of the agency, or one of the close committee members of the Niger Delta Development Commission. When investigations, within that particular commission was ongoing, a couple of issues came up. One was financial recklessness. Second was the fact that the Niger Delta Development Commission, which was meant to help those in the Niger Delta, that's the oil-rich region, well, one could not see the remit of the monies allocated for that region. Most individuals within the region were literally very poor. Could this be that this is one of the reasons, him being part of this imbroglio, are one of the reasons why you now have some of the APC chief executives in the North Central are boring or not wanting to accept him as one of the strong contenders to fill up that particular position? Could this actually be one of the reasons?
Anyway,
contending reasons.
He that goes to equity in law must go with clean hands. So yes, I rate Nigerian politicians with their standard, with their yardsticks, and not with standard convention of what a leader ought to be. And if you are to place them on that scale, Ababio on that scale, vis-a-vis all these people agitating for change of Ababio, can you see anything better from their own side? Have they not held offices before? What were they able to do? Did they transform the whole of their region? Is enough that they're clamoring for that? Are they not still the recent index? Are they not Bonu is talking about having a crisis? Adamawa is about to have crisis, and so many states in the north. Have they not been ruling? Have they converted the whole north? Buhari ruled for 8 years. I ruled. So many army people ruled. Has the whole north become El Dorado? So if they're using that parameter, the question will be like, have you done something so fantastic in your own region that will make you now to use such issue to check the credibility of another person? If they have turned north into an El Dorado and the peers they have held sway in many political offices in Nigeria, they have changed Nigeria into paradise, we'll say, okay, continue. But we're not seeing any of these things. And whatever allegation against Abadi, like I said, if I'm not holding his brief, I'm not his spokesperson, I'm not even his fan, the truth must be said. Every allegation against Ababio is still allegation. They are proven by a court of competent jurisdiction.
No. You remember he was the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs at the time, and they were
why didn't they take him to court?
No, of course.
Let them take him to court and let a court. I'm a lawyer. I have to speak like a lawyer. I'm not speaking like a layman. Okay. We don't speak by mere allegation. We don't speak by conjecture. We don't speak by imagination. We don't speak by morality. We speak law. That's why we are called lawyers.
There were revelations.
Let them take him to court and let court of competence. Let him be prosecuted and let him be jailed. If Ababio has been jailed as now as an ex-convict, he's coming to contest the election. Good and fine. I'll join them in their fray. But now he has not been jailed. He has not been convicted. Are you now the law court that will declare somebody guilty of an offense? Have you seen the facts of that case? Has Ababa been given fair hearing to speak his own side of the issue allegation?
If you listen to some of the governors from the Northwest, this is the precedents, and they are complaining and literally saying that with this background, an unresolved scenario where he was the
we have backgrounds of the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's not they said that the no court has convicted him. We have backgrounds of terrorism upon Shetima, the vice president. They said that he was not convicted of terrorism. Why are they now making it so big as something about Ababio? I mean, these are things that are trying to hide under. Are they clean of all these things? Answer is no. He that must come to equity must come with clean hands. Every of our leaders that have held office in Nigeria cannot submit himself to critical assessment by any law enforcement agency without seeing one or loopholes of where they misappropriated funds, or where they committed gross misconduct in their various offices. But we cannot begin to look at all those things until when a court of competent jurisdiction has adjudged that person guilty of that offense. If you feel strongly about somebody that committed an offense, the most appropriate thing to do is to go to court, find a way, sue him, or if it's an actionable matter in civil, sue him. If it's criminal offense, approach law enforcement agencies, let them prosecute him, file a petition against him, and let them prosecute him and convict him.
All right.
As far as that is not yet done, he's still adjudged to be innocent until proven guilty.
All right, Barrister Joe, here is also another scenario that we should actually look at. The president-elect, must he be the one to decide, or must he be a major factor?
No, the president-elect has no right to decide, but he's also a Nigerian. He has the party to say, this is the person I want. Nobody will deprive him of the right of indicating somebody he wants.
Okay.
Just like all these other people now are saying that they want somebody. Do they have the right to decide who they want also? This law issue that you have to be careful. Because what you're accusing somebody, but also what they're doing. Now they are saying that these are the person they want. If the president says he wants somebody, that is the president's opinion.
All right.
It's left for you to go to the floor of the Senate to vote whom you want.
He listed Senators Godswill Akpabio from South and Barao Jibrin from the Northwest.
Yes, he has indicated interest in the people he wants.
The National Working Committee too seem to tow towards the same line. And this is where the Chief Executive of States in the North Central resolved to meet with the President-elect and the APC National Chairman for possible...
Why are they resolving to meet with the President-elect? Is the President-elect the one in the Senate that will cast his votes? Because of the type of politics we play in Nigeria. Do you see that players in UK and US try the Congress to start meeting the president-elect before they select people? What are they afraid of? Because they are afraid of the fact that if president-elect is not in support of a candidate, if they go contrary to his candidate, that he might unleash EFCC or law enforcement or contract or whatever will not be given to them. Because they are not genuine. If you are genuine, will you bother about the president? I don't want to mention it because before they not say I'm P2B's supporter. When P2B was governor of Anambra State, majority of people in the state house of assembly we are PDP members. P2B never bothered. He didn't even know who will become speaker, who will not become speaker. So ask me, say, anybody you elect with, I work with that person. That's what a legislative arm of government ought to be. Why are they moving to the president-elect to tell him that they don't want somebody? Wouldn't they go there and cast their votes? It's not going to be done by ballots. What are they afraid of? If you don't want that, but be good and fine, go to the floor of the Senate and vote whom you want. Must they disturb us with everything in this country? What kind of democracy are we practicing in this country? It seems like we are not even maturing. President-elect has said those he wants. You cannot turn it. When Akadibu was made president in the Senate, Obasanjo didn't like it. But Akadibu was made president of the Senate against Obasanjo's wish. Saki was made president of the Senate against Buhari's wish. Yes. So why must they go to the president-elect before somebody becomes Senate president? Because they don't want to offend the president-elect because they are looking for favor, probably unconventional favor. They want him to feel like he offended them. They want to carry on conventional favor. They want the cases frauds that are committed here and there not to be dealt with because the president-elect might become angry and unleash EFCC against them, unleash courts or whatever on the police against them. That's why they are scared. You need to be scared of electing someone that will lead you in your own chamber.
All right.
For goodness sake.
So here is a scenario right now. While the president-elect was canvassing for support, especially in some of those north central states or the northern region, there were promises, I'm sure, that were made. Oh, vote for me, deliver your constituency to me, and possibly you would definitely get...
Was that put in writing? Was that put in writing?
Verbal arrangements. And so
was that put in writing? They tell us black. They'll bring the black and paper, black and white. Even if it was put in writing, is that constitutional? Is that constitutional? Is that in our constitution? This thing shouldn't bother people. If somebody is going ahead making promises during his campaign, you should know it is campaign period. There are certain things you don't take seriously during campaign.
But could this be this?
Why must president begin to make a promise with you?
Politicians are now asking and demanding and saying, "Okay, you made promises. We delivered our constituencies. You're now on board. You're supposed to do what."
So is Nigeria democracy a winner takes it all? That's also the problem we have in America, in Europe, in other parts of the world. Do they do like that? Must somebody be rewarded for voting somebody in office? That's why they kill and maim and do all sorts of things for them to deliver their words. But that's not how democracy is practiced. Once the president emerges, he becomes president of the whole nation. The whole nation becomes his constituency. And he picks the right people that can deliver in his administration as part of his cabinet. And they move with that. Must you go because somebody delivered you? Who are you delivering? Are you not a Nigerian? So others that actually choose another person, are they wrong? Must everybody choose the same person in any election? That is not done. And must you get people that chose you in an election against the whole country because they chose you? That's not democracy. People should study democracy and know what is democracy. Nigerians are misapplying people there. Why are you saying you are the one that delivered? Is that your singular effort that gave him those people? Some people made up their mind on their own. If somebody wins a vote in a state, governor will say, I delivered my state. Okay, most of the states that they lost now, what are those governors saying? These are individuals that decided to vote people. They will come and take credit. I delivered my state, I delivered my word. Some of them may not even talk to you, may not even know their names, may not even have encountered them. Once somebody wins the election, they'll show up. I'm a chief 10. I'm the one that delivered my local government. Nonsense.
Barrister Joe, thank you so much for your contribution on the World News at 12. We've actually run out of time. I really do appreciate your input right here. All right. Thank you. To have an amazing day. Yes. Okay. So we'll need to take two more stories and then we'll wrap up the World News at 12. Now, an inspector of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abel Issa Dixon, has died after a scuffle with two colleagues over items collected from a suspect. The items include medications and some cash. The two colleagues, Assistant Superintendent of an EFCC, Akpata Oluwaseun Odunayo, and Inspector of an EFCC, and Ogbuju Titu Tochukwu, have also been arraigned in a court in Sokoto for culpable homicide. But the chairman of the commission, Abdulrashid Bawa, said he will leave no stone unturned in ensuring that the erring officers are brought to justice. The head of media and publicity of the EFCC, Mr. Wilson Uwojaran, who confirmed the incident in a briefing in Abuja, said the affected officers have also been suspended. He went further to state that the officer passed away on the 7th of May 2023 at the Usmanu Danfodio University Teaching Hospital, where he was receiving treatment for injuries he sustained 2 days earlier in a scuffle with two other staff. Assistant Superintendent of the EFCC, Akpata Oluwaseun Odunayo, and Inspector of the EFCC, Ogbuju Titu Tochukwu. Now, in stories outside the shores of Nigeria, Kiev has been hit by exceptional number of missiles. The Ukrainian capital has been targeted by further Russian air attacks, described by an official as exceptional in density. Ukraine said all 80 missiles were shot down and footage showed their air defenses destroying targets over the city. However, Russia said its attack, which used drones and missiles, had hit all its targets. Moscow has stepped up its air campaign in recent weeks ahead of an expected Ukrainian offensive. The air raid alert sounded at around 2:30 a.m. on local time and was lifted 2 hours later in the eighth attack to hit the capital this month. An unusually high number of loud explosions was heard in the city center as authorities disclosed to residents in online messages that air defense had been activated. The head of Ukraine's armed forces, Valery Zuluchy, said Russia attacked Kiev from the north, south, and east, and that 18 air, sea, and land-based missiles had been used. Also, Serhiy Popko, head of the Ukrainian's capital military administration, described the barrage as being the maximum number of attack missiles in the shortest period of time. Now, to actually wrap up the world news as 12, let's take a look once again at the top stories. You heard that gunmen have killed 29 in Plateau villages. A leadership crisis has deepened as North Central governors reject Tinubu's candidates. 16 killed in Taraba chieftaincy tussle. Hundreds of residents displaced in Kaduna, several houses, property burnt in a communal clash. And on stories outside the shores of Nigeria, Kiev has been hit by exceptional number of whistles in the Russia-Ukraine war. And that is a wrap on the world news at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Esther want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at VOP 90.3 FM. You can also subscribe to our social media handles at VOP 90.3 FM. Good afternoon. Thank you for listening. Up next is Matters with Ikami Judah.